Mr. Gilbert Gottfried. There he is.
Hi, so you still have a show?
Can you believe it? I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more talented and intelligent people have tried and failed, and yet you still have a show.
Isn't it amazing? It's some magical ingredient that I can't even figure out, Gilbert, that I've been able to do for seven years now. I've been doing this dumb show. Yeah. I don't know about talent, but something keeps me coming back on a daily basis and keeps people watching. I don't get it myself, so
yes,
very appreciated. I recall years ago you were what they call canceled for making a joke, whatever the hell. But from of course a Duck Voice gig that was probably a great paying a gig for an insurance company, and. Now, let me get this straight. It was a joke. You didn't kill anybody, right? You didn't shoot anybody?
Yeah. I mean, the way people reacted, I'm not so sure.
I know.
I'm still checking if I've got blood on my hands.
Just a joke. Because
I mean, they fired me. They got rid of me quicker than shit out of a duck's ass.
And meanwhile, someone like Alec Baldwin, who killed somebody over the weekend, he's still doing endorsements, and I see him on commercials and movies.
See, now I can call back Affleck and go, see, I never actually shot anyone.
I didn't shoot anybody, but
on one of the news reports, the anchorman, when I was fired, they had footage of the tsunami, like these enormous waves, and they said, and to make matters worse, comedian Gilbert Gottfried.
Worse.
And I made it worse. That's the kind of power that I wield.
To make matters worse. Not like, hey, and as an aside to this tragedy, Gilbert. No, it's like, boy, that wall of water that swallowed my family up was pretty bad. But I got to tell you, it was worse when Gilbert Gottfried made a joke about it.
I feel terrible that my country is totally underwater now. But did you see what Gilbert Gottfried said?
It is amazing. The it's just so vague as to what makes people angry and gets people fired and other things. Like, all I see about this Alec Baldwin thing is people making excuses for him, that it was an accident. I've heard it called a misfire. The guy literally pointed a gun at someone and shot them. It wasn't like, oh shit, it went off or I dropped it or anything. He literally did what you do when you want to kill someone with a gun.
Yeah. So, see, I should actually shoot someone.
Yes, Gilbert.
And then Affleck will go, well, he shot someone. I thought he made a joke. It's all different now.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know. It's still all up in the air. That was the big story of the weekend, of course, was Alec Baldwin shooting two people. Went right through the first lady and shot the director that was standing right behind him, right behind her. And apparently the girl that was supposed to be taking care of the guns is just some crazed TikTok girl with green hair. And she didn't look at the gun properly, and Alec Baldwin didn't check it like he's supposed to. And again, just pointed it at someone and pulled the trigger. There's your armorer. That's the person. Have you ever handled a firearm on a set, Gilbert?
Yes. And usually they'll come over to you and they'll open up the gun and show you that it's empty.
Right.
Here, I guess they didn't. This green-haired girl. Is she the one that was handling the guns, or
she's the one that was supposed to make sure everything is copacetic? She's the one that was supposed to open the cylinder and show them that there's nothing in there, and I guess she didn't.
So a girl with green hair and a nose ring was in charge of people's lives.
She was too busy doing maybe a TikTok dance lip sync video. to make sure Alec Baldwin wouldn't kill somebody. I don't know. What movie did you have a little gunplay in?
Let's see. Well, one thing I did years ago, this was at the Hollywood Prop Museum, I think it was called. And it was for some, like, God knows, Sunday Funnies or one of those old comedy shows.
Yeah.
And they had a gun in there. And back then, I didn't know firing a gun was that. Well, I knew firing a gun was dangerous. I'm not that fucking stupid. But I had no idea, like, guns with blanks. They make it sound like, it has blanks.
Yeah.
But what was the name of that guy he was on, Alias Smith and Jones?
John Eric Hexum.
Yes, he was sitting there. And as a joke, he put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger.
Yeah. And the energy from the charge itself and the little wadding, there's paper or wax wadding or something. The energy, though, took a piece of his skull, made that the projectile, and it drove it right into his brain. It was just like as if he would have shot himself in the head. People don't understand it. It's because you watch movies, and in the old days, even Animal House, remember when they gave fucking Flounder the gun, and then they go, don't worry, it's just blanks.
Yes.
Because it's just blanks, and people think they're not dangerous, but you could fuck someone up with blanks.
Yeah, few people have died with. But was Bruce Lee's son?
Brandon Lee. This was an interesting case. What happened with Brandon Lee was they needed a shot of the front of the revolver. So when you look at a revolver from the front, you could see the lead in the chambers of the cylinder. So they needed that shot. So what they did was they took out the powder and put the bullet back and put those bullets in without gunpowder. But the primer, the thing that the firing pin hits to ignite the powder, they left in there. That had enough of a charge to make the lead pop out just a little bit and go into the barrel. So they didn't know that the gun actually had a round in the barrel now. Then they changed it out for the harmless blanks, and they put those in there for the money shot, and that fired, and all the energy behind the lead bullet that was left in the barrel from the previous thing came out and shot him in the abdomen. And they all were just like, all right, well, we're still going with the scene. He's laying on the floor because he was supposed to just lay on the floor like he was dead. And he was. They just were like, all right, cut. Great job, Brandon. Great. You want to get up? Oh, he's method acting. He's fucking.
I said, great job, Brandon. Oh, and great job to that green-haired girl.
Yeah, green-haired gun girl. She did a bang-up job with the weapons. What a weapons expert.
She's in demand. That green-haired girl. But in movies, they always do that. They'll say, oh, it's okay. It's blanks. And it's like blanks kill people. Yeah.
Blanks. Now there's a whole big thing of should there even be real guns on movie sets? Why can't they just do it CGI? I think there's this kind of Hollywood is very traditional. Molesting children is a tradition in Hollywood. They don't want to steer clear of that. Fucking starlets on the casting couch, things like that. But it's a tradition, and it just looks better. The muzzle flash is real. And to get someone to act like there's some recoil to a gun, it doesn't look authentic sometimes. So I think for authenticity, they like using it. And for the most part, it's been safe in thousands of movies that no one's been hurt on. So,
it's like, I remember I did it in, it was something in a prop house. And I was like firing a gun in the air and, saying stuff and firing a gun. And
Yosemite Sam.
Yeah.
You varmint.
And, another thing with guns that's total bullshit is the idea of a silencer that goes like, it makes like a little spit sound. And it makes like people spit louder than a silencer in movies. Someone described it as a cat sneezing.
It really is when you see them. They shoot someone right next to another person, and the other person just like.
Yes.
I think I heard something. It might have been the leaves rustling. Yeah. It makes a little more of a noise than they show in the movies.
They say with a silencer, the silencers that they have are gigantic. They're not like the type you take out of your jacket and put on.
They screw it on any gun.
Yes. And they say it's still loud. This idea.
Yeah, it's still loud, and the mechanics of the gun racking back if it's a semi-automatic pistol, that makes a sound. So it's not as quiet as they like to say. But again, movie magic.
It's like the hero has two machine guns, one, and he's able to hold it. That shows how macho he is.
Right, he's a fucking man. He's a real man. It's great. They use one of the most preferred guns for bad guys to have in movies is called an MP5. It's a small kind of a machine pistol-looking thing, but sometimes it has a stock on it. It's pretty small though. Everyone was using it in Die Hard. Like that was the fucking movie gun in Die Hard. And until you actually shoot one in real life, you realize this would last for about a tenth of a second of shooting. Like you go, and it's empty.
Yes.
It's fucking empty. And there it is. That's like your preferred fucking weapon of Hans Gruber and his crew. But that's a 30-round magazine, and you will go through that in a second, and it's empty. And that's another thing about the bullshit of guns in movies is how long your ammo lasts.
They ran through the entire skyscraper with that one gun, with never reloading.
Firing away and
here's what I want to know too. I want to ask a doctor this.
I'm a doctor.
Like the hero always, he'll get shot. When he does get shot, it's always in the shoulder. So is the shoulder like this safe area? You could take a bullet in your shoulder and you're fine after that.
I know, like right in this area, there's a lot of cardiopulmonary arteries and veins and important things. And of course, the further you have to go down a limb, the thicker the artery is up at the top as it branches out to feed your arms and legs and whatnot. So I would think there's probably a major fucking pipe in here that if you get hit in it, you're dead.
So then you're advising people not to get shot in the shoulder.
Don't shoot yourself in the shoulder. You've seen a lot of these people do this when they want to seem like they were a victim of a crime. They kill their wife or something.
Yes.
And it's like, and then they take the gun and they shoot themselves in the shoulder and go, oh, I barely made it out myself, And then they're like, why, how come the gun was pointed immediately? Like I watch enough Forensic Files to know that's bullshit. But they never even get him like here. It's usually like right on they barely nick him and go, oh.
Yes. It's always those cases where they'll go, oh, they shot and stabbed my wife and kids. And then he slapped me in the face really hard.
Yeah. Oh, I barely got away with my dignity. It was
he pulled off one of the buttons from my shirt. This guy meant business.
He stabbed my wife 80 times in the heart and face and left her positioned like a whore. But yeah, he called me some pretty nasty names before departing. Yeah, that's enough crime shows.
And then there was that famous case. I think he may have been a sergeant or something. He killed his wife. And this was around the time of the Manson family and all that. So he wrote on the walls, LSD is groovy.
Was it Greg Brady? The Greg Brady crimes?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and that just shows like how unhip this guy was.
Groovy.
It's like the kind of thing when Bob Hope and Lucille Ball would dress up as hippies. That's something they would say, like, hey, LSD is groovy. Huh?
Hey, let me tell you something, Lucy. That LSD is pretty groovy, I gotta tell you. Yeah, Bob. It's Bob I Take Acid Hope for Texaco.
Now, I heard Bob Hope used to, on those war tours, like Vietnam and everything, he always had some hot babe. There'd be
always.
Welch or
hey,
Joey
ladies and
Heatherton.
gentlemen, bring into the stage. Let's give a big hand for Joey Heatherton, all right? Here comes the lovely Joey Heatherton. It was always the
same joke. Same joke he would do. I just want you boys to see what you're fighting for. and what I heard about Bob Hope is he used to, if he tried to fuck them and they'd say no, he would threaten them with like that we're all gonna, ship up, put our shit on the plane and fly off, and we're leaving you in the jungles of Vietnam if you don't fuck me.
You can either fuck Bob Hope or the Viet Cong. One or the other, honey. Make a decision. You're on the road to chlamydia. God damn. That makes sense. They were all just fucking sexual deviants back then. All those guys were getting pussy. I had to fuck around on my wife Dolores when we were out there in the Nam. I got the Da Nang crotch rot when I fucked some VC chick. She put razor blades in her pussy. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's just like what gets me is now that Harvey Weinstein is in prison, there are no producers or directors fucking young girls who want to get into the movie.
No.
So,
that's got to make a comeback, though, after a little time. I think it's just in their blood. If you're some nerdy guy or some business guy and you couldn't get pussy by being a good-looking actor in Hollywood, you became a producer, and then you get the girls because they wanted the gigs. I don't think that, natural mindset is going to change because of the Me Too movement or anything.
Yeah, it's just like when, what was the name of those two, black German singers with the long dreadlocks?
Oh, yeah, Milli Vanilli.
Milli Vanilli. Milli Vanilli, also known as German black guys with dreadlocks.
With dreadlocks. Yeah.
I always thought there too. Now that they're over with, nobody has any dubbed in singing going on. That's over with.
That's over. I think they figured out how to actually make bad singers sound good with electronics and whatnot, so they don't have to literally replace them with. The first time I ever had experience with that, it was the episode of Fred Flintstone on the Flintstones when he had, and rock is gonna roll with all his might in bedrock, twitch. And then the record skipped, and rock is gonna roll, and rock is gonna roll, and rock is gonna, and then they were all like, boo, boo, and started throwing shit at him. And I'm like, oh, well, that's probably why. And it literally happened to Milli Vanilli, exactly like it happened to Fred Flintstone.
or it happened also to the other Simpson sister.
Yeah, on Saturday Night Live, right? She
it played the wrong song.
Yeah. It's like you'd think they'd have better equipment than literally a record player. All right, here she goes. Put a penny on the top to hold the stylus down.
And they also use that dubbing in gag on one episode of Andy Griffith.
Who was singing?
Yeah. Barney is supposed to sing, but he can't sing. So Gomer sings.
Oh, yes. Well, Gomer had that amazing voice that they had a highlight on the show every so often. That was Gomer's voice. Yeah.
And I always wondered with that, if you spoke to actual opera singers and said, do you think Jim Nabors was really that great a singer? I think it's that everyone was so shocked that he go from, golly.
Right.
And then I think you could sing like me. And they go, oh, my God, what a great voice.
That's exactly what it was. It was just the contrast. Graded on a curve, he was an amazing singer because it's like, well, golly, Sergeant Carter, I'm going to sing for the Marine Band. And then, he'd do that shit. But, yeah, I think he was kind of average.
Another one who was like that in the average singer category, but also you went, oh my God, he's great, was Crazy Guggenheim on the Jackie Gleason show.
Crazy Guggenheim.
Because it would be, hi, Joe. Hi, Mr. Donahue. I went out with the fuck wash it. And then he'd go, in your Easter bonnet with all the frills upon it. You'll be.
Remember the pet shop on the corner where we used to walk by and see the monkeys in the windows and everything?
Oh, jeez.
It's tearing that down.
I'll never forget that. Boy, one day I went in there, Joe, to get my mother a birthday present.
Oh, they had a lot of nice things to get in there.
Yeah. I wanted the best for my mother. You know how it is. I went in there and I said to the clerk, Marty, I said, give me that parrot. That's the one I want. Beautiful looking parrot. He says, that'll cost you $20. I said, for what? A parrot? He said, that's a very intelligent parrot. Why, that parrot speaks 7 languages. I said, yeah? He said, yeah. Well, I want the best for my mother, Joe, so I give him the $20, and I went home and I put it on the table. And I went out. I wanted to surprise my mother.
His jokes went on and on.
I came home about supper time. I said, hiya, Ma. How you like your birthday present? She said, what present? I said, the parrot. She said, I thought it was a chicken. I plucked it and cooked it.
That's a joke?
That's like a joke that was too old to use in vaudeville.
Yeah.
You did that on a vaudeville stage, they go, oh, not that one.
Oh, he's doing the parrot chicken bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you have him singing?
Now pack your steamer trunk and get the hell out of here. Yeah.
And
Now
then
find a
him
video of
sing.
him singing, because that's why everybody went like, let's be real. He's playing a retarded guy. It's pretty much what he's doing.
That's it. No drunk sounds.
No, that's not a drunk guy. That's a retarded gentleman that was going into the bar. And then he would sing, and people were like, oh, my God, he sings so well. It's like, no, it's because he's retarded. You think he sings well.
Yes.
You got any, you got it. You got to have him singing. I remember seeing one. I think him and Jackie Gleason sang a duet or some shit. Singing was such a big part of those dopey variety shows.
Yes, yeah.
I couldn't stand that. Like, even as a kid, it was kind of funny when they'd have these comedians on and you'd watch it. And then, the singing part would start. Anything your grandma liked on those variety shows was just terrible. Oh, here he goes. Oh, here we go. That old gang of mine.
That old gang of mine.
It's like like, just go through life singing everything you say and no one will think you're a retard. I would like a pack of Tarrytons. Yeah, it's because he sounded like that, and they'd be like, oh,
he's a great singer.
Oh. That's what they did with that old fat broad on America's Got Talent. That was the same bit where they'd be like, she walks out on stage and they go, oh, this old hag can't sing. And then, oh, her voice is beautiful. It's the same old gag that they were using back in the fucking 40s. I love it. Earlier talking about the gun thing, it reminded me, I watch Mannix pretty much every night on Me TV. It's Mannix and then Cannon and Barnaby Jones, the trifecta of fucking detective shows. Yeah. You got the womanizer, the big fat fuck, and then the geriatric detective.
Yes.
And Mannix was constantly getting shot in the arm. Like he was every episode, he got shot in the arm. And then he's able to still fight with a bullet hole in his arm.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucking insane.
It was always like, the villain, and then you see the hero get shot, and he's in slow motion spinning around. And his partner is like, no! And there's the overhead camera looking down.
Yes.
And then in the next scene, he's got like this tiny Band-Aid on his forehead.
Yeah, a little Band-Aid. He's touching it a little. He's like, oh, yeah. You remember when I got shot in the head? That was a tough scene. Yeah, well, let's go out and get him now. What? You fucking... There was one, he got shot in the side. Mannix got shot in the side with a deer rifle. And he's just walking around. I think it was the closest he ever came to a gunshot killing him in an episode, because it was like, wow, he needs help. But he was still fighting and running around and shit. And meanwhile, his whole fucking side would have been blasted out. His liver would have been gone. But I love those old shows. I can't get enough.
I remember in some detective movie, it was like a girl detective.
Uh-oh.
And there's a shootout, and you see her get shot and fall to the ground. And this is supposed to be a dramatic line. He says, she's okay. The bullet only grazed her head.
Maybe it'll knock sense into that woman's head. Yeah, it just grazed her head. She'll be okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because no head injuries.
No, you never hear of a subdural hematoma.
That's the other thing that drives me crazy. That you could take a brick or the butt of a gun and slam it on somebody's skull. And then they're out, and a few minutes later, they wake up, shake their head, and they're fine.
Another one Mannix is famous for. He has more concussions in more episodes, and he just gets up, like he'll sit up and go, oh, he's got to rub the back of his head, and then, oh, where am I? I got to call my secretary. All the time. And from, like you said, bricks, the butt of a gun, a club, anything. This guy... massive amounts of concussions, and he's fine. He's Joe Mannix.
They get up. Yeah, they rub their head, shake their head a little bit, and then they're ready to go.
You're right, Joe.
They don't even need an asprin.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. Yeah, I'll be fine. Just a brick to my fucking head. I fucking love that shit.
Oh, the other thing I love in if the bad guy has a gun on the good guy can say, hey, you don't want to shoot me. You want to fight it man to man. And then, of course, the bad guy tosses his gun away.
Yeah, because they're noble, these bad guys. They have morals and scruples. Right. There are rules, yeah. Why don't we? Oh, you're real tough with that gun, but I think if we fight it out man to man, and they're like, oh yeah, that's enough. Also, they bad guys can be surprised very easily. That's another thing Mannix does. The guy will have the gun on him, and Mannix will just be there, like, so let me Let me see what you're looking for here. Let me see what you want. And he throws some at him. And the guy is completely taken aback. He forgot what he was even doing there when a matchbook flies at his head. Plenty of time for Joe to, jump on him and duke it out.
And
I
then
can't get
all
enough.
those shows like Mannix and or Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah.
They captured the villain or shot the villain, and there'd be commercials, and then there would be a funny ending.
Yeah. I mean, Alec Baldwin didn't even mean to kill somebody, as far as I know. And I'm sure he wasn't snickering a couple of minutes later about something funny that happened. Yeah, death didn't even affect those motherfuckers. They could kill someone, and then by the epilogue, they'd be like, come on, let's go get some coffee.
Yes, yeah.
That was one of the things, even as a kid, I realized on Lost in Space was, Dr. Smith would constantly put the family's lives in peril, especially young William. He'd drag Will around and almost get him killed. And then at the end, they're like, all right, come on, Smith, get back on the ship. You crazy motherfucker.
And then seeing Mr. Smith hang out with the little boy.
Yes, he always loved young William. Oh, dear. Whoa! Yes, my young boy. Help me. Shut up, you clattering clunk of colliginous junk. Billy West used to do such a good fucking Dr. Smith and the robot. And what's his name? The real prick. Who was the prick that was fucking Judy? Major. It was yeah. There was.
Wasn't that puppet
Major
show?
West.
Fucking Judy.
It was fucking Judy, right? Yeah, Major West. Major West didn't like Smith. He'd have killed him if it wasn't for fucking the rest of the family, the Robinson family.
And Jonathan Harris was a Jew from the Bronx.
Yeah.
He created this whole persona for himself. It's like this, Shakespearean actor.
Oh, they always have that story. And if you watch some of the real old shows like The Outer Limits, and The Twilight Zone has a few episodes, but even The Twilight Zone was a little too mainstream for that. It's like the peripheral, almost The Twilight Zone things that were going on around the same time. You'll see all these fuckers show up in it, acting their balls off. And then, I saw one with fucking, what's his name? Gilligan. And I was I'm like, oh, look at Gilligan. He's acting. He probably had these dreams and aspirations of being a big guy. And there he was, Skipper, just dopey fucking Gilligan for the rest of his life.
Yeah, they would have those shows like One Step Beyond.
Yeah, One Step Beyond was another one. Yeah.
And Outer Limits and
and it always started with a narrative at the beginning because
there is nothing wrong with your television
set. We have taken control of the horizontal hold and the vertical hold. It's like, oh, the guy knows, he's figuring out my TV. Meanwhile, Rod Serling had some profound shit, and it had to do with the episode. And the One Step Beyond guy was even worse. He would just come out trying to be all fucking scary. One Step Beyond. He didn't look the part. Those were really cheap.
One Step Beyond were those that you looked at and go, whoa, what's good about this?
Yeah, it was like they didn't make the cut for the Twilight Zone. They were too bad.
Yes.
And they put them on. What was the other one? Chiller or something with Boris Karloff.
A Thriller with Boris Karloff.
Boris Karloff would be like, do you believe in ghosts? And then he was in everyone. He was actually an actor in the episodes, and he'd talk to you like you were, he was on stage and he was addressing the audience, and then he'd be the bad guy in an episode or something. Strange show.
And when he'd do the long speech at the beginning, he'd end it with, "But I assure you, it will be a thriller."
Like Serling had to be like, in the Twilight Zone. They had to say one step beyond. It was the same formula for all those things. The Twilight Zone's the only one that really made it. And then he stops doing the Twilight Zone. and starts doing the Night Gallery, which is exactly like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, except that it sucked to high
It
heaven.
sucked so bad. It was just not good. And he'd start out in a gallery and pick out a painting that had something to do with the episode. And it just wasn't good. I can't believe that guy died at like 50.
I know whenever a Night Gallery pops up on TV, I'll always think, well, maybe there was one good one that got in by accident.
No.
And it's like, when you watch Night Gallery now, it's like everything that was wrong with 70s television is in Night Gallery.
Yeah. Including Roddy McDowell. He was in everything in the 70s. Every fucking thing.
And also Night Gallery would have the blackouts, like the laugh-in, like a quickie. I think about 50 times they must have done one where a guy is dressed up as Dracula and he's in the blood bank. And that's the gag.
Hilarious. Oh my God, you speak. I love the fact that there's so many of these networks and platforms now where you can watch just a marathon of these old shows and realize how fucking terrible they were. I gotta be honest. I watched Rowan Martin's Laugh-In. I watched a few episodes. I don't know whether it was the drugs, the time, the fucking, people trying to get away from the fucking atrocities of Vietnam, but it was just terrible. It was not fucking funny. Just old puns and weakly veiled sex jokes that were supposed to be so cutting edge at the time, I guess. But, were they bad. And their staple bits like, hey, we're going to the cocktail party, Dick. What do you say? Oh, okay. And it was the typical team comedy thing. It was like Martin Lewis kind of a thing, the straight guy and the wacky Dick Martin.
Dan Rowan was an out-and-out imitation of Dean Martin.
Yes.
The way he would hold a cigarette.
And the drink.
Move his face around.
Yeah. Let's go. Say goodnight, Dick. Good night, Dick. Get it? It's fucking hilarious. And his name is Dick. How funny is that? Oh, God. It was terrible. It was painful to watch. I looked up their histories, and Dan Rowan was like a macho fucking fighter pilot in the war and got shot down. He got burns over some percent of his body and everything. And then he goes on to be this straight guy. And Dick Martin was the one that was always after these minxy English chicks that would be on the show, like Judy Carn and some of those. And he fucked his way through every woman on that show. I think even Ruth Buzzy got fucked by Dick Martin. But it's just terrible.
I saw, how on the internet they have, the sad life and tragic ending.
I watched all those.
Yes. And it's like they had the sad life and tragic ending of Henry Winkler.
What?
Who's still alive. He's alive. He's married with kids.
He's in a show called Barry that seems to be pretty popular online. Yeah.
But it reminded me of that because they had one on Judy Carn, and they kept calling her, and it shows the research they put onto those shows because they said, and then from Bristol, England, Judy Carnay. And they kept referring to her as Julie Carnay, and they referred to another cast member as Art Johnson.
Oh, Artie Johnson, of course.
Yeah.
Art Johnson.
Yes.
That Judy Carn, her tragic life was Burt Reynolds punching her in the fucking face. She was another one of the victims that dated Burt Reynolds for a while when he was in his beat the shit out of women phase. And that got, and then of course
back in those days he could beat the shit out of a woman and be, that Burt.
Burt, you hear him laugh, it's hysterical.
He's a character.
There it is. She looks a little swollen there under the eye. Every hair that he found in the sink that morning, he gave her one punch in the fucking face. Little angry. It's her, without any makeup on or anything. She looked pretty good. I like the, as a kid, it was kind of fun to watch them dance in their bikinis because it was, it was pretty sexy to watch that as a kid,
Well, I remember, and this show came later on, but to me it was porn, and that was solid gold with the solid gold dancers.
Solid gold dancers.
That was out and out porn for me.
Solid gold. Yeah, they would go over some of the songs and dances of the week or something, and they'd bring the dancers out. And it was during, I think that was kind of the disco era, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were dressed in little scantily hot pants and little bippy tops and shit. You get any? Let me see some solid gold guy. And he a big hit with that. Oh God, was that so bad? And then he tried to do Dis-Gorilla. He needed a follow-up to Disco Duck, so he did Dis-Gorilla, and it was him dancing around, and the words were like Disco-Rilla, and you'd hear him go, ooh, 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 ooh. It was the worst B-side ever. Here it is. Here's Disco-Rilla.
Oh. Deep throat.
Happy
the haircut, the mustache, that was the porn look.
Johnny the Wad Dees.
Oh, can you find?
They'll find anything.
Okay. Alan Thicke, Sweaty and Hot.
Oh, wow. All right. Is that the name of the song, or you just want to find
Sweaty
them?
And Hot? Yeah,
Sweaty
no,
and
it's
Hot.
my review. Sweaty and Hot. Alan Thicke, Sweaty.
Oh, my God. All right.
Because it came out right around the time of Let's Get Physical.
Oh,
and
okay.
I Like Muscles. Oh,
Here
here.
Can you believe this shit? Look at that Eddie Munster hairdo he's got going. How many AIDS deaths are on that stage? Nice jacket. Is that Adidas? He's got his Adidas jacket on or something?
Yeah, those waist-length jackets.
Yeah. Silk. Satin jacket. He fancied himself a singer and songwriter.
Yes.
He's another one that sang the theme song to one of the sitcoms, I guess.
Oh, yeah, he wrote and Facts of Life.
The Facts of Life one. Did he sing that one, though? I think it was a woman.
He didn't sing it, but I was on his talk show.
Okay.
For a while. And he wrote and sang the theme to the talk show, which went as follows.
Yes, that's
Mama,
right.
Don't leave the lane on. I'm on the road tonight. Everyone needs some dream to hold on. I want to make it on my own. Running thick of the night under the city lights. Running in the thick of the night.
Holy fuck. Oh, that's terrible. I love it. Oh. He did have that fucking nasal tone to his song. You got him singing his talk show. I want to hear some of that. Even though I'm sure Gilbert just did a spot on impression of it. It sounded like the guy from the Jackie Gleason show. The fucking
Because I did celebrity wife swap with him.
Oh, right. I remember that.
I would start imitating him singing to her. And she was always saying, no, he doesn't sound that way.
Oh, my God. Was she
And then we looked it up on the internet, him singing Sweaty and Hot. And she said, oh, fuck, he does sound that way.
Then she blew me. I'm teasing, of course. Oh my God! Some of these people get so pompous they want to sing. They fancy themselves a singer. And one of my favorites has always been Alice. The theme to the song Alice. What was her name? Linda.
Was it Linda?
Linda Lavin. Linda Lavin. She fancied herself one of these like Scooby Bop Boop Boop, one of these jazz singers, one of these lounge jazz singers, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sing the fucking theme song to this," and it's so fucking bad. She's so affected when she's like, early to bed, early to rise. It's all way over the top effect. There's a new girl in town and she's looking good. Oh, it's so bad.
Oh, and
here it is. Early to rise.
Early to bed. And in between I cooked and cleaned and went out of my head.
I'm sure 80 takes and she's like, I could do it better.
Life with blinders on, it's tough to see. I had to get out from under and look for me. There's a new girl in town and she's looking good. There's a fresh freckle face in the neighborhood. There's a new girl in town with a brand new style. She was just passing through, but if things work out, she's gonna stay.
And then her jazzy ending.
A while. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, Alan Rafkin, that motherfucker's making a fortune back then. Holy shit, was that bad?
And what was Flo was the other
Flo.
waitress.
He
who
kissed
used to
my
say,
grits.
Kiss my grits. And that was like back then, the audience would go, "Ooh, how'd they get away with that?"
Wow.
one?"
You know, by grits, she means her sweaty waitress asshole. I think she
one
wants you to lick her
episode-
pussy.
6 pieces.
In one episode,
Now,
Oh.
we are going to cut our pies into 8 pieces.
This is comedy.
That's the big news that you had for us.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't need to see any flow and fucking terrible. It was that was our entertainment though. That's
on a
pretty much all
very
we had.
special Alice episode, she actually does say, "Kiss my sweaty waitress asshole."
It didn't test well in front of the live audience, so they went to grits. Oh God.
He was in similar to the Solid Gold Dancers. Do you remember when HBO, before they had all their own programming, would fill up the day with like Aerobicize girls?
Yeah, I think that was Showtime. Showtime
maybe, yeah.
used to have they were on rotisseries or something. And,
Yes,
and they'd be
yes.
on all fours kicking their legs out. And that was porn. When you were watching that,
Absolutely.
a lot of camel toes, a lot of cleavage, and they were just hot girls exercising to kind of sensual porn music. Yeah, where is that? Find some of that? Look at the in-camera effects. Yeah, you would be going through the channels and go, I'll stop here. Watch
Yes.
this for a little while. Look at that. You're just seeing her fuck. Look at this. You're like, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Adjust the tracking. Oh, nice. Come on, this way. Do the leg this way. Shit. Look at that. Oh, yeah, there you go.
She goes.
This is called the dog piss. Nice ass. Holy shit. Isn't it fucked up? She's like
Girl's
70 now.
perfect.
She's 70 years old now. Isn't that a shame?
She died 20 years ago.
Yeah. Look at that great hair and everything. Like an actual woman. It's not cut all short and dyed purple. Fuck yeah. Oh, God. Look at this. And you just watch this. You have to keep the remote in your hand if your parents came downstairs. Unless it was your dad, then he'd be like, hey, what are you watching there, son? Why don't we jerk off together? Do a family thing. God, that's hot.
You could watch all day.
Yeah. You just put that on and enjoy yourself. Nice big eye makeup she got on. That girl's, you stick that ass in the air. Face down, ace up. It's beautiful. I can't believe it.
Showtime that had that?
Yeah, Showtime had that. I remember it was before, I don't know, we used to watch something on Showtime every week on a weekend, Saturday or something. It would come on before that or right after it. And that was, just leave it there. That's fine.
Yes.
Just leave it there the whole rest of the fucking show and we'll be fine. You did a show, I guess, recently with Svengoolie.
Yeah. Well, no, that was a while ago.
It was?
But I think they showed it again.
Yeah, they showed it again. Okay.
I popped up on that show a few times.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, all those old movies and everything. And it's such an old thing to have like the host of the horror movie thing. And the fact that he's still doing it is hilarious.
They used to be Zachary.
Zachary, yeah. Hi, it's me, Zachary, and I'd like to show you some house paint. Like he would do commercials, but he was the scary guy. That's kind of weird. Zachary.
Yeah, because I grew up on all those old monster movies. They would have on TV.
Please. I fucking loved all of them. You'd check the TV guide when you got it on Sunday. I know there's on Long Island, the Sunday Newsday had the TV section, the TV guide, and you'd look through it every fucking night and afternoon. You'd look at the times and go, cool, Wednesday, Creature from the Black Lagoon is on, or Day of the Triffids, or some fucking old horror movie. Loved them.
And even like the really, really crappy ones. Like they'd have the classics like Dracula and Frankenstein, but those really crappy ones like The Hideous Sun Demon. They used to show.
And what kind of monster was that?
Yeah. When the sun hit him, he wound up to be like a bad imitation of the Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Oh, okay. I like how they had to do a twist on the werewolf where a full moon would get it. But this one, it's the sun. That seems like a real inconvenience. At least the Wolfman knew to lock himself up during the full moon. This guy just can't go out at all during the day.
And that's the thing about the werewolf movies that I would always think like, he'd say, when the moon is full, I turn into a werewolf. And you go, so that's like what, 3 times a year?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't fucking handle that. Yeah. Oh, here you go. So this is the guy?
Yeah. Oh, that's it.
All right. Up on the terracotta roof there, and look at old girl. Oh, yeah, look at that. He's still wearing his regular golf clothes. I like a monster wearing a fucking polo. For the well-dressed monster, we recommend Van Heusen's slacks. Look at him.
And this was probably the director's house.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna eat a rat. Oh, this is good.
Look at his rubber arms and everything. It wrinkles up at the joints, and it's so fucking funny. Practical effects are so much better. That's great. He looked like a Creature from the Black Lagoon and the Gorn from Star Trek. Really kind of a mix of the two, eating a rat.
Oh, and there was another really shit horror movie years ago that they were advertising that this is going to be the next classic monster, like Frankenstein, the Wolfman. And it was see if you could find this. The Incredible Melting Man.
Oh, shit. What the fuck? It had to be radiation, right? It had to be something with a...
It was an astronaut. He goes into outer space, and he's hit with some outer space radiation.
I think I remember this one. He's literally melting, right? He's like, his face is melting and everything. Hey, where is this guy? All right, they're pulling him up. It's in color? Who was that? Fucking Shirley Feeney? Oh, shit. Might be. I don't know. Yeah, this looks like 70s. He's pretty melted here. He doesn't look very harmful. Oh. Ow. That's gotta sting. Yeah. Just throw some salt on him. Well, don't pick at it. What, did he jerk off? Yeah. Jizz on him. That's it. Sort of reminiscent of The Fly later on, which was a kind of a good movie. They really thought this was going to be a big hit, huh?
Yes.
There were some good ones that, oh, Jesus Christ. He's melting. He's just melting away. There were some really good ones that were incredibly bad, but fun to watch. Like, what was it? The Crawling Eye. And,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there were other ones with monsters that were so ridiculous. It's like, just throw a blanket over the guy, we'll glue some fucking eyes on it, and he'll run around like a guy with a blanket on him. Yeah.
On my podcast, Gilbert Gottfried's Amazing Colossal Podcast, we had on Roger Corman.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And Roger Corman made a film called The Beast with a Million Eyes.
Yep.
And they finished the film, and then someone said to him, Roger, there's no beast with a million eyes in this film.
Yeah.
And I think they got a tea kettle and punched holes in it and put a light bulb inside it. And that was the beast with a million eyes.
But he had finished the movie and had no beast with a million eyes in it.
Yeah, you'd think they would have noticed that early on.
Yeah, it's the title of the movie. I thought maybe it was more kind of subjective, like I don't know, like Big Brother would be the beast with a million eyes. You can't get away from it. It's watching you, but it's not literally a beast with a million eyes. I would have gone with that instead of a tea kettle with holes in it. What is that a beast?
That's the beast.
He doesn't seem to have a million eyes. He's got a sparkle. He looks like one of the solid gold dancers. It's all disco and sparkles. That's a funny face more than scary. I don't know.
Don't you see the fangs there?
All right, that's pretty dangerous. But yeah, some of the movies. There was one I know they were trying to rip off Godzilla, so they made.
They had Gorgo.
Gorgo was the English Godzilla. The English version of Godzilla from England. And he had like fins for ears, and it just wasn't as scary as Godzilla. And then King Kong, they decided to do Mighty Joe Young, which is, another crazy ape movie. But yeah, the ripoffs, it'll happen. And then there's this one where a Hollywood star shoots the director and cinematographer. That's a great one. I hope people don't start ripping off. Gilbert, you are such a fun guest to have on the show. I love having you on, man. Gilbert Gottfried's Amazing Colossal Podcast. It's so fucking good, so funny, and really interesting, especially if you're into some of the older movies and TV shows and whatnot. That's anywhere you find your finer podcast. You could book Gilbert for a cameo. Gilbert's a perfect person for cameo. Some people get cameo and it's like, who the fuck, what? But Gilbert's so recognizable. the voice and everything is fantastic. Cameo.com/Gilbert Gottfried. And then for a personalized video and shout out, of course. Real Gilbert on Twitter, Real Gilbert on Instagram, and GilbertGottfried.com on his website. Gilbert, thank you so much, man. Always a pleasure.
You.
We'll talk to you again soon. There goes Gilbert. God, is he funny. Oh, I love it.